problem that I've heard time and time again, and we actually had at our farm, is having chickens that aren't laying eggs in the nesting box. And today I'm going to talk through some tips and tricks so that you can actually train your chickens to start laying their eggs inside the nesting box so that you can make sure you have some beautiful, gorgeous, and hopefully cleaner eggs that you can get every morning. I'm Danielle of the Split Row Farm, and welcome to our channel where we bring you new content every week on how to start your own homestead or small farm and living a more self-sustainable lifestyle. And that brings us to chickens. Chickens are a great way to get your own source of meat or your own type of daily eggs. And when you get chickens, you'll notice that some of them are actually really smart, and instinctually they're going to just go straight into the nesting box because that's what they've been bred to do for years and years within our society. But some of the chickens are not going to know what they're doing at all, and there's some things you can do that can actually help with making sure they actually go into the nesting box. First off is going to be making sure that you actually have enough nesting boxes for your hens. The golden rule is usually to have around one nesting box for every 4 to 6 hens. Too little and there isn't going to be enough for them to go in, and too many, you'll find that they're going to start using the nesting boxes as a place to perch, and they may start going to the bathroom in there, sleeping in there, making it a little dirty. So by having the right number, you're really going to ensure that you have clean nesting boxes that they're going in to lay their eggs and then coming out of and perching in other locations within your coop. The second tip is going to be to go in to your chicken coop and actually clean out your nest boxes, and I suggest going in early and going in often. Usually you want to go in anywhere from 1 to 2 times per day. We usually go in the morning when we feed everyone and water everyone. We'll go in, collect as many eggs as we can, and then in the afternoon after lunch we will go in. And by cleaning them out regularly, it's going to ensure that there's less feces, less stomping or breakage of any eggs, and you'll usually have a lot cleaner of eggs. So it's really going to overall be a better experience for both you and the chickens if you're going in there often, and especially starting off early in the day. With the winter, you also want to make sure that you aren't having your chickens lay all during the day and then eggs can be freezing when you grab them. It just creates more complications than you need. So try to go in often and early. When providing your chickens with a nesting box, you want to make sure that it's a comfortable spot for them to lay eggs. So putting in fresh straw or hay in the nesting box and cleaning it out often, or if it does get wet or dirty, is going to make sure that you have a nice clean place for your chickens to lay. And on the opposite side of that, you also want to make sure that you're providing for a place that the chickens actually want to go when they are roosting. So making sure that you have enough roosting bars or locations within your coop is going to be essential as well. If there aren't, then they are going to start thinking that they can roost on the nesting boxes, which means that they aren't going to really want to lay in this area, and it is going to get a lot dirtier because they will be putting their droppings in here, and it is not fun. When we first were raising our chickens, some of the newer ones, when we didn't have enough roosting locations, we're doing that. It's a really dirty situation and it's not fun to clean up. Plus you have a lot of really dirty eggs, which is not fun. And you'll find that a lot of the chickens will just start to lay their eggs in other places. Especially if you're free ranging your chickens, you'll find that they're not gonna want to be laying in a dirty, uncomfortable nesting box, and they're gonna choose somewhere else to lay, like an bale of hay, somewhere else in your barn potentially, because we had that happen at ours. If you are finding that your chickens are laying eggs in the wrong place, try to make that place a bad area for your chickens to actually lay. So for example, when our chicken was laying in the hay stacks outside of their coop, we removed the hay, or you could block that area off so that they're not able to access that area, and then they will have to find another area. Another thing that you can do is actually providing artificial lighting earlier in the day. This way, when they are in their coop in the morning, once they have that artificial lighting, especially in the winter, That's going to help signify in their brain that they should be laying the eggs. So usually the chicken's gonna wait until the first sign of light to start laying. So if you do turn the light on earlier, then they're going to wanna lay eggs earlier, and they'll lay them in the coop instead of out around in the yard, in the barn, and other sections. This way they're laying it there. Now, if you are finding that your chickens are kind of just displacing them and laying them all around when they are free ranging, then I do suggest keeping your chickens confined for a bit longer in the day. And what you could do here is maybe keep them, instead of letting them out at 10 a.m., wait until 1 or 2 and then let them out. This is a great thing that you can do to actually train your chickens to start using the nesting box. So what we would actually do if we found our chickens were not laying in their nesting boxes, we'd keep them confined for later in the day. If that doesn't work, keep them confined for maybe a full day, and that way they will start to lay in the nesting boxes. And if you do this for a few days in a row, keeping them a little bit later in the day and then shortening that, then they're going to start to lay their eggs in the nesting boxes and not outside. This has been a really great training method for us at our farm. Now, if you do have enough nesting boxes, but you're finding that they're all laying them in one nesting box, what you can do here is you can actually do a fake egg. So chickens like to lay where there's already a lot of eggs, which is probably why they're laying it in that one nesting box, and there's a lot of eggs in there. So what you can do here is you can actually take a fake egg, which you can purchase at the store, or you can even take a golf ball. I've heard those have been really successful, and put one in each of the nesting boxes. Or if you find that they're laying them in 3 out of 4 of your nesting boxes, just put the golf ball in that 4th nesting box, and that will help start to have them nesting in all of the nesting boxes and spread out a little bit more, which will cause kind of less species on your eggs, less breakage, or kind of movement around in there as well. These are just a few different tips and tricks that you can try to help train your chickens to start actually laying their eggs where you want them, so you can collect them. They're cleaner, they're not breaking, and they're not just in an erroneous location that you one day find and step on and smell, because it will happen if you do not train them. So start to go out there, train your chickens, not your eggs, train your chickens to lay their eggs inside of their nesting boxes, and you and your chickens are going to be a lot happier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about chickens, you're definitely going to want to check out some of my other content here on our page, and we'll see you guys again next time. Bye.